Hey y'all, what's up? I am back. I've been under the weather for the past 2 days. My son has been sick early this week. I don't know what it is with him getting sick in June. Last June he had COVID. This June, no COVID. Some type of respiratory infection. Hopefully it wasn't RSV again because it was October. I'm not recording you, little boy. Now it was. So today's episode of Smackdown, we came inside, we caught the whole thing. It started with the gauntlet match, which I completely forgot about because this has been a long week. He is so aggravated. But I was excited for it. Okay, so I kind of wished that tonight was a Raw night, meaning I wish it was 3 hours, because I would have wanted the gauntlet match to be longer. I know they're on a time constraint, and you got to get a match like that out the way first, because if you let everything else play first and then you don't have time for it, it's going to be cut short to maybe 5 minutes, and it's not going to give the people what they want. So starting out was, my people, the Street Profits and the Brawling Brutes, which I was here for. Okay, so then Street Profits got out. So then it was who they fight after that? Jesus, I don't even remember. The OC got them out, got tired, and then they got out LWO. They was tired by then. LWO did the flips, stuff like that. So I was like, oh snap. So in my mind, I said, even though Sheamus and them is one of my favorites, Sheamus, I don't know why, but heel or good, I like him. I don't know why. And I only been watching this, started back watching a year ago. So yeah, because I think it was after the last year's Backlash. My son was telling me about it. His friends were watching it at school, and he got into it. But so I was here for it, but I'm like, they're not gonna let my man's Sheamus get it. You know what I'm saying? Because at first I was like, where is Butch? But I forgot I think he qualified for the Money in the Bank. So I was like, they either gonna give it to Hit Row because they've been there a while, and it's been a while since they had a tag team thing. They're gonna push Pretty Deadly, or they're gonna give it to LWO. Top 3, okay? So then they got to Hit Row. They ran out of, you could tell they ran out of time. That ain't even last 5 seconds. And then,
because they suck.
And then it was them versus Pretty Deadly. And I don't know why in my brain I thought Theory was gonna come out. Like, part of me was like, Theory probably gonna come out and mess with it because him and Sheamus had a thing. Him and Butch, had a thing. But Pretty Deadly won. And then I was like, hold on, wait, when did Butch come out? Then after that, I was like, Sheamus been in the ring for a minute by himself. Where is Ridge at? Because when Homeboy tagged him, Ridge was nowhere to be found. And then when he did the beats on both of them, I don't know the one in the back, but I was like, I know he can't breathe because Elton Prince's hair is in his face for them 10 beats. I'd have been like, all right, dog, you gotta get off me. Like, okay. So then after that, they were still in the ring. Commercial went off, came back.
Hey, are you looking
Why was that so loud? And then they came back, and then Sami and KO came out, and KO ain't say nothing. And I tweeted, follow me on Twitter on Friday Night Smackdown. I am Danny Britt, DANIBRITT. But I was on Twitter because I was like, Sami and KO are like a married couple, like the married couple. I was like, Sami would be the loving, nurturing mom, because I'm like, he's there talking to them calmly, like, oh no, and he only has to get firm when he wants to. I was like, he like, just like with Jey, he talks to them calmly. He goes to the bloodline, you know what I'm saying, and tell him, hey, I still care for you. And KO is gonna go as soon as he opens his mouth. He the father of that no nonsense dad. So he was sitting there like this. And he was like, he was like, we should go beat them. He was like, I was trying to be calm, but I want to beat their face. And they jumped in. And as soon as they jumped in, Pretty Deadly took off. So that was cool. And then it was Io and Bayley. Io, accompanied by Bayley, versus Zelina. And I think I went upstairs to use the restroom for part of it because I love her entrance music, but that be throwing me. That because it's like she walks like out in the ring like she's drunk. I can't get with it, but her music's nice. So I don't know what Bayley called herself doing. When I glanced over, she was talking to the ref, and Io had I was gonna say shotzi, wrong person. Io had Zelina, and then Zelina, and then the ref was too busy looking at Bayley. She was like, ref, ref, ref. He turned around and Zelina had her. And then I was like, Bayley qualifies. But I'm like, low key, you're selfish and you self-sabotage your group. Because I'm like Io has said in the past, why I can't get a match? Why is it always you? And then I'm like, she was mad because she was like, I'm trying to help. That's why when Shotzi came out and was like, you're the reason why I didn't qualify for the match. I should get a match. And Io was like, she accepts. And Io was like, I just tried to help. I said, oh, she petty. Like, she real petty for that, okay? And then, I need to take these glasses off because my eyes itch. What else? So after that, it was a Grayson Lawler with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte outfit was everything. Love her hair. Loved her makeup, okay? Charlotte is very athletic, very talented in the ring. Her and Rhea's match during WrestleMania was so good, honestly. And I'm not the only person that said this. They could have ended on their match, to be honest. Like, the Usos match was great. Don't get me wrong. But after their match, I honestly forgot it was another match until the Usos came out. I was like, oh, it's another match. Like, that's how good the match was. And women, like, okay, so I watch React channel, FBE channel, whatever it is on YouTube. And they have the superstars up there. And sometimes, some years back, like WWE superstars. And it was like, try not to react or something like that. Or try not to look. And it was, my allergies are messing with my eye. Okay. And it was like, try not to look at certain matches. Try not to, or don't look away when they push pause on certain clips. And I agree with Drew McIntyre when he said, the women do it better. Not for the simple, not just because I'm a woman, okay? That's a big part of it, but not just because. It's because he was like, women to do moonsaults and all this other. He was like, men are scared to do that. Like, we take more risk, and then when they do it, it comes off better. Because I'm like, some of them, and Charlotte's tall now. I think she's like 5'10". I was like, and there's some men that's her height that wouldn't even attempt that. Wouldn't even attempt it. First of all, when you stand at the top of that ring, at the top, I said, that gotta be 30 feet. That gotta be 30 feet. Then you flipping down. I said, and it gotta be the adrenaline. Because there's no way in hell I would do that. And her bodysuit was cute. But I was like, being who I am, this is just my personal opinion. I was like, now she had some more behind, or some hips to fill it out. That bodysuit really be bomb, okay? And then my girl came out, Bianca came out. Her makeup in here was flawless too. So I don't know who did their makeup, they did their own. But then I was like, that thing was thinging, okay? In the back. I said, and then the black tights she had on, or wrestling underwear, I was like, that don't even cover all of you, girl. You could see it through. Your over half your behind still out. But I was like, she would have looked good in that bodysuit. She looked good in the bodysuit she was in. But I already said that it's either going to be, she keeps saying she's going to be sidelines versus Asuka versus Charlotte, and whoever, like, when she's going to get her turn. But my personal opinion, because she said she always wanted to fight Charlotte. So she said that, it wasn't WrestleMania. It had to be an Elimination Chamber or SummerSlam. It was one of those. And Royal Rumble, one of those. And she was like, the last person she wants to fight is Charlotte. So I'm just now thinking they're going to have Charlotte win and then Charlotte fight Bianca. But my original thought was they're gonna have a triple threat match with Bianca, Oscar, Charlotte. That would be very entertaining. That would have to be saved for a pay-per-view type situation. Or it would be um Bianca versus Charlotte, and then whoever wins fight Oscar. I didn't even think about Oscar versus Charlotte. Charlotte wins, and then they have to fight Bianca. And then we on SmackDown. Why are we fighting for the Raw Women's Championship? Why won't we just switch it, the championship, with Rhea? Rhea's on Raw. Give her the Raw Championship. Bring back the SmackDown Championship. Just like I said last week with them girls from NXT, they need to get them NXT titles back. If Solo had to give his North American Championship back to NXT, they need to get their championship back, period. Okay, so what else? Okay, so after that, it was the whole that situation. Okay, Grayson Lawler. Then it was the mixed tag team match, which I forgot about, and I was excited about. One, because I like AJ Styles. He cool. My like for Karrion has grown because of personal, if that makes sense. Because I watch Up, Up, Down, Down. And I didn't really know how to define him as a character, because I think his niche in WWE is he picks on whoever's new to the roster or comes onto the roster, something like that. And since AJ Styles just came to SmackDown, that was his next thing. So, and then I didn't hear Scarlett talk until I think my son and I was watching a clip on YouTube when they was in Saudi, and she was talking when they was at Universal, and I was with City Walk, and I was like, oh shit, that's what she sound like. So when they was having a mixed tag team match, I was like, do she wrestle or is she a valet? You know what I'm saying? Like, is she like, what's the girl name from Hit Row? I know it start with a B. I can't think of her name. I want to say it's Brianna. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know her. I can't think of her name. It's like, I told you I'm sick. I'm tired. So her, and I'm like, is she a valet like Maurice, who used to wrestle and now is a valet, or is she just a wrestler that only the valet doing live events and then she wrestles at the house shows? Like, how does that work? Or did she start off as a wrestler? They was like, oh, we don't need you wrestling. We got too many women. Your husband made it, or maybe you can be his valet. Like, how anyways, so they wrestle, you know. I love Michin's look. I love the blue contacts. I love the blue ombre wig. The whole thing. It's weird me calling her Michin because I'm so used to saying my but I like it. So they tagged each other across, and he had Karrion. Excuse me. And then she tried to flirt her way, and I was like, what is she doing? And she, so I guess he could attack from behind or whatever, or catch her off guard, which it kind of did work because he still caught AJ off guard. But homeboy took off his glove and said, I'm married, bitch. I was dying because I was like, the camera caught it. And I've not known him to say any word, I think, other than damn. And that's a whole meme on Twitter now. Like, it was like, what made AJ do that? And it was like, he was not playing. I was like, home married with 4 kids. Like, that's hilarious to me. Okay. And then it was, that had me weak. And I was like, the way that AJ and Michin lost, I said, this could be a beginning of a small storyline. I don't think that's ending anytime soon. Because I'm like, AJ probably not going to stop until he could probably get Karrion one-on-one. Or, and win. Or, I don't know. AJ's one of those vets that is very, has a lot of resilience, very versatile. Like, when he was on Raw, him, AJ's him, Dolph, and Seth were the best. Oh, and KO, when it came to resiliency, when it came to variety of moves, when it came to their age in the game, like they've all been in the game 20 or almost 20 years, and they still can move like someone that just came out of NXT. They might be tired after, might got to sit down for an hour, but you can't tell them that while they're in there. Like, and that's what I love about them. It's all of that, because up until recently, not unless you really look at them like, oh, and Sheamus too, and because I'm like, not unless you really really look at them and say something, you be like, they not that age, they not that old, and then realize they are that old. And I love the fact that my generation, the millennials, I'm a late 80s baby, is more aware of our health and our awareness and things like that, and not just in wrestling, just in sports in general, that we try to keep ourselves healthy and fit for our families, for ourselves to be around, and that gives us longevity in the sports that we play. Like back in the day, we were little, a lot of wrestlers didn't make it past, they didn't wrestle past like 35, 40. You know what I'm saying? Like Triple H was one of the ones that started, you know what I'm saying? Like they went into the corporate side of it. Like, so for like someone like The Undertaker or something like that to do it, to retire, to do it for so long, him and Ric Flair, like it's amazing to see that. So if someone like Serena to finally retire, and she's in her 40s, and most people that are in uh tennis, I think, retire in their 30s at the latest, or someone like Allison Felix and other people retire like in her 30s. The gymnast from, I think, Ukraine, she still come to the Olympics. She was at the Olympics last year, and she been doing the Olympics since the 80s. So it's all about, I guess, mental strength and capacity, how you condition yourself, you stay focused, and you treat your body. And now my eyes like really like irking my nerves. I think I got a hearing it now. Um, but yeah. So after that, what is going on? It was Rey and Santos, and Santos giving his gratitude and stuff like that for Rey for paving the way, LWO, all that. And I love the fact, I say this all the time, that our wrestlers speak in their native tongue, wherever they're from, wherever that might be. Like if you from Jersey, New York, and you got the accent, talk like it. If you grew up in a house where you spoke Spanish first, even if you grew up in the United States and you had to learn English in school and you speak Spanish on show, like that, like KO one show a couple years ago, he showed a clip of himself. He was speaking French. Sami speaks Arabic, French, and English. The Samoans speak Samoan. I think that's the name of their language. All of the Spanish wrestlers speak Spanish. I don't think nobody on there speaks patois, Creole. I don't think. We have Japanese speakers. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, I grew up in the DC area. Okay. And it's very cultured, very diverse, whatever. So I grew up around all that. Friends all different. I didn't have cultural shock until my mom moved to North Carolina and I saw what I saw in front of me that I saw on movies. Like when I grew up, we sat wherever, gay, straight, boy, girl, black, white, yellow, purple, green, blue. You know what I'm saying? That's how we grew up. When I came down here and I saw like jocks sitting together, people that weren't from this country sitting together, rich people sitting together, trailer trash sitting together, the bougie black people sitting there, like it was a shock because I was like, oh, they really do this for real. Like I've never in my life. So like it warms my heart to see stuff like WWE show their different diversity in the culture, not just because the superstars are diverse and from different cultures, but also the people that watch are from different backgrounds and cultures, and they go around the world. Like it'll be boring if all of us had to speak only English, but you have someone, but we're like in Saudi Arabia and you got people that can speak Arabic. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, show what you got. Make your, you know what I'm saying? Because that might, to me, if it was me and I was in creative, that would make me want to showcase you more. I'm like, oh, you speak no language. Okay, so when we do this promo, I want you to go full in English and then translate and cut somebody out in French and then go back to English. Like, that's me. Like, do what you do, okay? I love when they show it in their uniforms. I love it, especially in their language. Um, you know, and I love when they go to different countries and they get the welcome that they get. Like how Zelina got the one in Puerto Rico and how Mustafa got the one in Saudi, him and Sami. Like I love that. So I think they're going to Mexico. So I think like Santos and Rey are going to get, but that would be interesting because if Dominic goes, I don't know how he will be received because I think he's still the number one heel in the company. I think he is the number one heel in the company. Like people love to hate him, and I think number two, close behind that, is Theory. I honestly do. Okay, so where was I going? Where was I going with that? Okay, yeah, they gave. Okay, sorry, it's called Wrestling and Rants for a reason. So they gave that, and then LA Knight just randomly comes out, and I'm like, wait, did he always have that red shirt, or was that new? Or is that the red shirt he be having on when he have that cutoff jacket that he wear? Make him look like, I always say every week, and I put it on thing, and he's reposted it on his Instagram, where he looks like a 90s action star. Like, that's his gear, for real. He looks like a 90s action star. Between his hair and them glasses and the gear, he looks like a 90s action star. Like he's about to be a stunt double for Jean-Claude Van Damme. And it works. And just like Wade Bear said, ain't nobody who was on the train, but I was surprised it took off as fast as it did too. But I love it. I love the heel part of him. Like it's hilarious to me. But I like all types of humor, like dry, dirty, happy, gritty, whatever. That's why some of the shows I find hilarious, people are like, why do you watch that? And I'm over there cracking up, and then people catch on, especially my family, years later. Like, I was watching Big Bang Theory, and I was like, oh, it's so funny. Ew, why do you watch it? No. Now half my family watch it. I'm over it. Now they watching it thinking it's funny. I was like, I told y'all this 5 years ago. Like, but I guess, but I think I'm the goofy one out of my family, and I'm the oldest. So I find anything funny. I can find anything funny for real. But anyways, that was cool. And then after that, who came out after LA and Santos? Did Roman come out after that? Oh, but Baron had beat Cameron Grimes into the thing in the back. And I was like, who is that? Because at first, I don't know why I thought it was LA Knight still beating somebody up when the commercial went off. And I said, he have a match with this boy next week. He better not lose. Because he doing all this. And yeah, he ain't had no right to attack you last week. But Baron, you've been losing since October. Okay? You probably been losing since before that. Because my son and I saw you in Raw in Charlotte. October 24th or 5th, 2022. And you lost. And JBL was your manager or your mentor at the time. And you lost. So you've been losing ever since. I don't think he's won a match since. That's the sad part. Like, it's time for him to win one, to be honest. I feel the same way for, well, I can't say LA Knight because he's won some of his. Karrion's won some of his. I was feeling that way for a little bit about Mustafa. But I think even he won some of his. Like, the gimmick of Baron being this terrible, like ain't nobody scared of him no more. He went from having boxing and putting dog food on Roman, all this other stuff, to being like people just brush you off because you suck. Even I can't even pronounce homeboy name. The wrestler, I ain't even gonna mess up his name. He's short, he's Japanese, he got the blonde hair. He was laughing and was like, "You suck." And then, okay, we get to the main event. And I thought when Triple H gave Roman the gold out Universal Championship, that the other two was going to be obsolete. That he was going to have to give them two up. He come outside. Paul got both of the other ones, and he holding one. And it's weird because when he holds it up, he only holding up one. He ain't got two up no more. So that's kind of weird. Hi, y'all. I see you in the background. My baby. Poo poo. So, my love bug. Some of my friends think that I've had a baby with somebody in the Uso family, because they was like, especially when his hair is done, they was like, he looked like that could be their nephew or their cousin. He was like, "You sure you ain't?" But ironically though, his dad and them favor them. Like, people like, "Oh, Samoans is the island, Pacific Islander." I'm like, but they close to Africa, and yes, everyone comes from Africa and the Middle East. I was like, they have very much black tendencies. You know what I'm saying? Some of them, I was like, they have the same features as his family. Like, Solo and his uncle look like they could be twins. So, in my opinion, his uncle's just a little bigger. But, yeah, so they always be like, "Oh, no." That's why they always think my baby mixed. No, he's not mixed, he's black. I've been getting that from everyone. Even black people think he was mixed. When he was little, they were like, the one lady was like, Is he black and Puerto Rican?" I was like, "No, he black." "Is he black and Italian?" "No, he's black." Because he used to have long curly hair that came down to here. And I used to braid it every week. And him and my boss, who was Italian, my son, it's gotten a little darker, but him and her son were the same complexion and had the same hair. And then my friend, my mom, not my mom, my mom and my parents' friends invited him to a cookout, and their friends were there, and they was like, "Oh my God, your grandson looks like my grandson, like twins." And then they were like, our grandchild is mixed. And my mom was like, "My grandson ain't mixed." But that is the epitome of black magic. We are all shades and sizes and colors and eye colors and the creation of the world and all of that. So just ran. And just appreciating the beauty of my little love bug. Anyways, yeah, so I was like, why? And then I said, okay, so I do production at church. I do lyrics and I do the sound. So, and I've said this plenty of times, that production needs a raise, because without them, it's great to be there live. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's certain superstars that you know are going to be there, that you love, and the show of the night is great. Like tonight was a great show. It's great to be there live, especially if you're up close. You know what I'm saying? But if you can't get to a show, and I took my son to his first show, he was 8, the one in Charlotte. That was my first show too, live. And I've watched it religiously as a child. Okay? And then you forget that you can't, like when I went to my first NBA game, I know that I wasn't gonna hear the commentators because I was little. So it's like that. Like, you gotta be mindful. You're not gonna hear certain stuff, but it's still gonna be fun, impactful, and stuff like that. For like, what makes us fall in love with it? Not just it's a lot of the behind the scenes people. It's the writers. And it's the writers giving off the concept with the people in creative that get it. Because there's always one or two that be hating or don't get it. They just be there. Like, why are you still here? And that's for any job. It's not just WWE. We be like, you throw salt in everything I try to do. And it's not just you they throw salt in. It's everybody's. And I know, because it's always a stick or two in the mud. Oh, we can't do that. People won't like that. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, the budget is not big enough for that. And then you do it, and they changes their mind. Oh, it was great. Oh, because you did this, even though it was over budget, we're getting way more revenue. You know what I'm saying? I majored in business, so I know how to go. Okay, HR. So it's like it's the writers who set it off. It's the makeup people and the hair people. Okay, for me, it would be the makeup people saving my life because I don't know how to really put it on. I do my own eyebrows and I do my own hair because I went to cosmetology school for a little bit, but and I've been doing my hair. I've been doing my own hair since I was 10 because my mom is the only girl of 5 kids and didn't know how to do hair. Had 3 girls, and I just so happened to be the oldest. And I was like, if she ain't take us to the shop, she would try to do it. And I'm like, oh, you weren't about to set me up like that. So I've been doing hair ever since. For 25 plus years, 25, almost 26 years, I've been doing my own hair. I can blow it out. I can braid it in 2 braids. It's only like this because I've been in bed for the past 2 days. I can put box braids in it, which I'm about to do tomorrow. But the fake faux locks I had in the last video, I did all of that. I do my own myself. If I don't do it, it's because I don't feel like doing it. I'm being lazy. But 95% of the time, I do my own. So it'll be that for me. Behind the scenes, it'll be the catering because I love to eat. And if it's a cutoff time, I want to eat when I get there. And then I want to eat like an hour before I gotta go if I know I got a match. So if my match start at 8 and it's still open, I'm eating again at 7. Like, because I know after that, I probably ain't getting up out of there till what, 12:30. Then I probably gotta drive to where I'm going. Gonna get there at 3, 4. I ain't gonna be hungry by then. If I'm tired and hungry at the same time, but the tiredness outweighs the hungriness, I ain't thinking about no food. I could stop and get some like fruit at the gas station or something, eat that, and then go and roll over my bed, wake up, exercise or not. Okay, I might not, depending on the day before, if I'm super sore or not something, and then go do it all over again. But I digress. So yeah, it'll be food and stuff for me. But for like the writers and freaking production. And I say that because, like I said, you get excited being at a live show. But what you see on TV versus live, the production team is it, okay? And I've said like Bianca and the butterfly kisses and Charlotte and the diamonds, and then I don't think the Usos have one. They don't have, I don't, did they have one each by themselves when they doing the wands up? And then Roman now got the one by himself. Yeah, they do. Because when they had all of them, I think they had the tree. But now it's just Roman by himself. But today I said he be solo back here on his right side and Paul on his left side when he come out. Because I'm like, the Usos ain't with him no more like that. And then I don't think AJ Styles got, oh yes they do. They got the P1, the phenomenal one. And then Karrion goes black. I remember when watching Total Divas, they was like, we haven't went black. We've only went black with 2 people. I think it said he was like Undertaker. I think it was Bray Wyatt. And then Naomi was the first and only female. And then now Karrion. So it's like production sets it off, okay? It's between the graphics. It's between the cameras up close because you wouldn't be able to see what they doing as well or hear what they're saying as well. That with the cameras up when they don't have the mic in front of them. Then the audio people, you know, all of that. And then they got to test that out and set it up before everything starts and all that. Like, and they probably take all that stuff down afterwards. Like, them are the MVPs. They make the show great. They make the show great, okay? Because, let me tell you, I'm just saying, I've been to live shows and regular shows, and I'm a fan of production and stuff. Yeah, because I do it at church. I'm very much a music head. I play instruments, I sang, I played clarinet, I played viola, I played keys. I'm very much into that. I have an ear for it, and then when the sound is off, everything is off. Like, it doesn't, when the camera angle isn't right, it's not right. So, and when you're a creative, an artist, a superstar, a singer, or whatever, you notice that. You want all of that to be perfect for your show. You know what I'm saying? So, that was great. So, I thought that was going to be, I went on a whole tangent. I thought it was going to be the one thing. So, he come out, and then, so I hear the song. So, I'm like, oh, they both coming out. So, then Jey come out by himself. So, I'm like, all right. Then my man's over here look confused, okay? And I want to say Josh because I'm so used to hearing them say Josh on Up, Up, Down, Down. But my man's look confused, and you could tell that even though they're acting, this is not just a promo thing. And I'm saying that because out of the three of them, he was like they grew up like brothers. They was like this. And Roman is only 3 months older than him. Like, I think his birthday was like last month or something like that. Maybe. I don't know. But you can tell that they treat Jey like the baby, even though him and Jimmy are twins out of the three. Because it's like, and it seems like that's what's them their whole life. And they personified it onto the show. Because Roman said something. And Jey looked like, okay, that kind of makes sense. Then Jimmy came out and said something. Then Jey was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. Then Roman being the older, they have a little mind control, try to flip it and switch it on him. And then I said, this promo is everything, okay? I said, I don't know if they discussed this before coming out or what he was going to say. I was like, but let me tell you, I said, it was some real life truth to that. And I only know that because I think I watched something, my son, all last year. After wrestling Raw stuff, like we used to watch, he used to have me watch New Day clips. Uso clips. So the past 5 years of their clips, I done seen all of them, okay? And it was one where he was like, he's told a story in one interview where he got all these tackles and stuff playing football and they gave it to his brother. His brother got in trouble. Instead of getting his brother, he got in trouble. Then they said he was the prom king and most likely to succeed in school. So Jimmy's always been well liked. So when he said that, he was like, look up to your brother. Josh, do what your brother say, Josh. Your brother knows best, Josh. He was like, you've been prom prince, prom king, most likely to succeed. And I said, oh, that's some truth to this. And he was like, come on, Josh. And I said, oh, he using his real name. I said, oh, okay. I said, I didn't think they was going to get that deep. He's going to use his real name. And Jim sitting there all cool. And I said, Jim ain't about to fight because he got the braids in. That was my first thing. You know, that's how I know I be invested a little bit. Because, like, I do the same with Woods. Like, Woods will wrestle. And I'll be like, Woods ain't going beast mode because his hair ain't come out that ponytail. And as soon as the hair come out the ponytail, that's when he win the match. But he was like, you out. And I was like, ooh. And then Solo made a face. I said, And then he said, which he reminded me of my son uncle, because he looked just like him. And then He said, I'm out too. And I said, ooh. And then they both kicked Solo. And then they both kicked Roman. And then when I just said, come on, Jey. And he and my son, when they put the ones, we both was like this. Like, yes. Yes. Now let's get back to the tag team era, talking junk, all of that. You know what I'm wondering now? I was like, ooh, I can't wait for next week. I'm wondering what words he gonna have with Sami. But Sami just sat there and just looked at him. This time he ain't say nothing to him. He just looked and walked away. But you and Sami been having this thing going on since like November when Sami kicked your man. It wasn't November. January, February. Because November was Elimination Chamber and they had that cage 2 match thing. But yeah, so I was like, I wonder what those words is gonna be like. I wonder how that's gonna go. So like now, when they have matches either together or separate, Solo and Roman gonna come out and sabotage every match until they rejoin the bloodline. Like, is Solo gonna fall in line? Cause honestly, let's keep it a buck. If we a family dynasty, right, current, and everybody leave the island of relevancy except for one person, is the island really relevant? You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't got no leg to stand on if you ain't got no people to help back you up. Is you going to come out and have new people from an island? And then I read some article on Sportskeeda how Danielle, a.k.a. Summer Rae, wants to join the bloodline. And I was like, no. I said, first of all, everybody want to join the bloodline, which I get because it's a compelling story. But no, ma'am. No. If you're not married into the bloodline or if you're not Samoan, you don't need to be part of the bloodline. Like, if Trinity was still there, yes. Tamina, cousin, yes. Nia Jax, yes. Bring Ava Rain up. Rock's daughter, yes. Hell, even Dakota Kai, she has Samoan, yes. Bronson Reed, yes. You know what I'm saying? They're Samoan. Don't come out here bringing, you ain't Samoan, girl. Like, you can't be part of the blood. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, it's a compelling story. You would want to be included in it. But no, if they bring a female, they better not. They better get Dakota Kai or Tamina or Nia or they can't get Trinity because she's an Impact. She's in Trend Pack. But you know what I'm saying. Get somebody or Ava Rain. Get somebody that's come out here with no, don't do that. If WWE, if y'all do that, I'm gonna be pissed the hell off. I'm silly. And I know I'm just one fan, but I'm speaking for a lot of fans. Okay. So that's it. That's my wrestling and rants. And this one was long because I went on a bunch of tangents. But I hope you guys have a great night and be blessed because you are blessed. I'm so mad I'm not going to Florida this week because I'm still getting over this cold. I'm going to be in North Carolina, but it is what it is. Can't rush the body to get well. Not unless I go get one of them hydro things you put in your veins or a vitamin B shot in my behind. And I ain't doing that. I've been taking Sudafed and I don't even like taking medicine. Like, I'm a very holistic type. Besides Zyrtec, I will sit here and go, if you be like, oh, onions cure a headache, I'm going to go in there, get some onions, eat them raw, get some tea with some ginger in it, let that clean me out, sweat it out. Like, I don't like doing medicine like that. I don't. Because medicine got too much stuff in we don't know about. We just take it because they be like, oh, it relieves headaches. Nah, dog. I'll go sleep it off first. Like, Anyways, and be blessed because you are blessed. And have a good night. Bye.
Bye. Just know that she's crazy.